Well, greetings everyone, how y'all doing? It is Kevin here on the Busan Kevin channel. And about a month and a half ago, I made a video talking all about the challenges that I faced in 2024, 2025 while on the job hunt as an international school teacher. And a lot of people found that video pretty interesting. Obviously, people who are interested in the marketplace for international teachers, who are international teachers, or people who are aspiring to become international teachers. And a few comments that people made and people sent to me, they said, Kevin, make some more videos on this topic of international teaching. So I figured I would do that. So here we are making another video about international teaching. We're sitting in my classroom here at the international school I currently work. I'm making this video on a weekend. This is a Sunday morning. I will make some more videos maybe here at school, but I will make videos when there are no students here or other people. I don't want to bother them. I definitely am not going to show students and that kind of thing. So Sunday's a perfect time, Sunday morning, for me to walk around a little bit of the campus, show you a few things, talk to you about what an international school is, because a lot of people really do not have a clear understanding of what an international school is, or what someone like me, what I do. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So I'm currently sitting in my classroom here and I teach grade 2. So what does that mean? Am I an English teacher? No, I am not an English teacher. I'm not an ESL teacher. That's not what I do. As an international school teacher, those who work in international schools are teachers in their own countries, and I'm not an ESL teacher in my own country. Now, at the very beginning of my career, I was an ESL teacher, but in order to teach at an international school, you need to be a licensed teacher with a current license normally in your native country. So I am Canadian. I am a province of Ontario teacher with a current license. In Canada, if I were working, I would be teaching probably in a public school or in a public Catholic school board, something like that. So I am here teaching grade 2. And I teach the same way I would teach in Canada. If I had a group of Canadian students in front of me, I would be teaching them the same way. Now, every international school is different. All of the international schools I've worked at are part of the International Baccalaureate Program, which is an organization based in Singapore, which is kind of an educational framework, which then there are different curriculums that are connected with that, depending on the school. So my previous school in Shenzhen, China, was an international baccalaureate school, full continuum, so the primary years program, which I work in. There's the middle years program, which both of my children are involved in as students. And then in high school, they have the option for something called the DP, or the diploma program. Now, my last school used American curriculum, American Common Core. Previous to that, I worked at a Canadian school, which used Canadian curriculum from the province of New Brunswick in Canada. Currently, we are using here a British curriculum plus the IB framework. And I will be moving on to another school later on this year, which will be using, again, I'll be moving into a Canadian curriculum, but from a different province. So that's kind of how it works. You're teaching different curriculums from around the world in English. Now, how does this work? Who comes to an international school? Well, sometimes, depending on the situation, there may be local students, but often countries have rules about that. So for example, in South Korea, in China, children who attend an international school must be foreign passport holders. So a student at an international school in China must have a non-Chinese passport. I think in Japan that used to be the way, and now they have rules for people who are what they call returnees, who are Japanese students who may have been living abroad for quite some time and maybe attending international schools in other countries. If they have been for some time, they have, I think, permission to attend international school in Japan. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure people love to do that. Correct me when I'm wrong. So yeah, so that's a little bit about kind of what we do. Now I'm going to show you around a little bit. So right now I'm going to share with you, I'll show you some things in my classroom. A little bit messy. Just kind of show you some different elements of this classroom where I'm at. And you guys can check it out. So on my board, I have here the IB learner profiles, which there are 10 of. We are an international baccalaureate school. All schools have these learner profiles, teaching children to be things like knowledgeable, reflective, risk takers, open-minded. This is my whiteboard, which is unfortunately not a magnetic whiteboard. It's a bit messy. I've got to tidy that up. I've got a daily schedule here, some artwork, talking about weather in different places. There's my desk over there, which I actually don't use. I don't sit at a desk. I've got an inquiry wall over here where we look at our unit of inquiry, but because I've got students' photos on that, I'm not going to share that with you. I've got a word wall here, which is fantastic. This is generated by students. We do a lot of writing each and every day. These are words that they often ask how to spell. One of our strategies is always, before you ask a teacher how to spell something, you try to sound it out, you look at the word wall, you use a dictionary, you ask a friend, and then you go to a teacher. So this is my room. Now, it is the biggest room in primary at our school. I'm lucky that way. And when we walk out this door, we're on what's called the first floor in Canada, but the ground floor in a UK sense. And here we are. So this school is in a jungle setting, and I literally mean that because we are in Malaysia. And this is our cafeteria right over here. And we've got this giant, lovely chess set that kids like to play with. And then this is our playground, which we just call the garden. And again, it's Sunday, so no one's here. Lots of great trees. Now, we've lost a few trees in the last 2 years because of monkeys. We have a lot of monkeys coming to the campus, and there was a couple of trees they really loved, and they actually defoliated the trees. So this takes us through the garden, the playground. And we've got a lot of great birds here, and bats, and fruit bats, and monkeys, and all kinds of things that visit our campus, large lizards. And coming up here, this is our learning hub, which you might know as a library, kind of like a library learning commons, which is used as a library space, a meeting space, a presentation space, a classroom space. I don't know if I can go in there. There's no one inside, but I'm not sure if I have the doors open. Can I open this? Let's see. No, it's locked. Okay, it's Sunday. I don't have access to everywhere. And this is our primary wing here. It's a small primary school. I think we've got about close to 800 students at the school, but in our primary, we've only got about 200. And these are kind of administration offices. So it's a pretty neat place. Now let's take a walk through here. So and we cater to basically, if you're British system reception through year 13, which would be like pre-kindergarten through grade 12. We have a lovely swimming pool. And one of the cool things about this school is that swimming is an actual subject in primary school. So all children have a slot in their schedules where they go swimming once a week. And we have dedicated swim coaches who are part of our PE team, which I think the kids are so lucky. So here's our pool. And we have a really competitive swim team. A lot of competitions here in Penang, Malaysia. Isn't that cool? We've got a big competition coming up, or a big inter-school competition called the Swim Gala soon. Super neat, huh? So now I'm going to take you around and show you our sports field. And obviously, in this part of the world, soccer, aka football, is a very popular sport. What is also popular here? Netball, basketball. So soccer/football is definitely an important popular sport. We have a whole secondary wing over there. I'm not going to go through that. I also don't teach secondary. So let's go check out what the football field looks like. So here we go, a lot of events here. The thing is, it's always so hot, but it's gonna be like that anywhere in Malaysia. So here's our field, which is absolutely first rate. As you can see. And where we're located, there's some residential areas around here, some apartments. The ocean is right there, beautiful beach. So and then we don't have a lot of space to work with, but what I did when I first got here last year, there was only one garden bed, and I need to do some maintenance work on this. I was doing it a little bit last week, but this was the primary kitchen garden that I was running, caring for, right over here. These big plants growing are chili peppers. Those are Thai chili peppers. We had a lot of bok choy. That's a big avocado tree there. That was just a tiny baby seedling last year. I've been nursing it, got some Italian basil. I harvested some of this the other day, and other beds are empty, things to go in. Yeah, and I've got this space right in the middle of the parking lot, one of the parking lots. I wanted to show you this, guys. This is really cool. As we walk through our foyer at the school, and inside those glass windows, that's our library, our learning hub. A lot of students hang out here in the morning. Middle school students eat lunch here often. It's just an informal place to hang out. But this mural is super duper cool, the street art mural. So these are all of the IB learner profiles, the 10 International Baccalaureate learner profiles. Our previous PYP coordinator, Primary Years Program Curriculum Coordinator, arranged to hire a local, well-known street artist, graffiti artist named Taz, T-A-Z, who is from Penang, based in Penang. And him and some other artists came here last year and painted this with spray paint, and it was so cool to see. We've got inquirers up there, and open-minded, balanced, principled, communicators, knowledgeable, reflective, risk takers, thinkers, caring, all the things we want our students to be, we want our teachers to be, our families to be, staff. And this is just, isn't this cool? It's so neat. And yeah, there's our security hut, and right across the street, that's jungle. It's all jungle over there. We get a lot of wildlife. So you may be asking, why would I want to be an international school teacher? Well, as an international school teacher, if you are a teacher by trade, you get to do what you do, but in other parts of the world. It's a fantastic way to travel around the world, to see the world. Pays very drastically depending on what country you're going to live in, what school you're going to be at. And there are like any kind of private industry, like for example, if you were to work in the game development industry, I'll speak to that because I used to a long time ago. You start at the bottom, you kind of work your way up. So if you're new to teaching or international teaching, maybe you're going to be starting at kind of a less known school that maybe doesn't pay as much. And as you advance in your career and get more experience, you can kind of leapfrog from school to school, different schools, different countries to kind of move up. Now, what qualifications do you need to be an international teacher? I kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier. You need to be a teacher in your own country with a current license. And of course, not have like a criminal background or anything like that. Everything that would allow you to be a teacher in your own country. So for example, in Canada, and I can only speak to Canada, it works differently everywhere, but in Canada, you have to normally have a 4-year bachelor's degree in something, and then you're going to do 2 additional years on top of that as an education degree. So normally it takes 6 years to become a teacher in Canada, and that's the route I took. I had that 4-year degree, and then I went to teach English in South Korea for a few years and decided I really liked teaching, saved up my money, went back to school in Canada for a few years, got my Bachelor of Education and my license. And then I embarked on the international career. So yeah, so that's it, a little bit about international teaching, what we do. I'll make some more videos about this if you're interested. If you have questions, leave them below in the comments. That's the best way for me to have fodder for future videos. Yeah, and I will be moving with my family this summer for the next international teaching adventure. And if you have more questions about that, like why do people move, how do they move, how do they find these jobs, where are the jobs, because you know, these aren't jobs you're going to find in the newspaper, so to speak. Yeah, so let me know. Leave those questions below in the comments. Love to hear your feedback. Yeah, and of course, if you found this interesting, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, always very important. And I will make a playlist maybe of international teaching videos, of course, scattered in with all my other videos. You can see if you're looking at this channel that I'm a podcaster, an avid podcaster. I've got the Supernatural Japan podcast, Just Japan podcast. The links are below. But I make videos like vlog videos a lot of the time too. So a little bit of everything, and I'll make a playlist for international education. So thanks for watching, everyone. And again, subscribe to see more of this kind of thing. I really would appreciate it. And take care. Bye.